Hello, this is Serenity, and today I want to talk about a very important topic in relationships and around love, and that is about interpersonal relationships between men and women. Um, I do a lot of individual work with people at a relationship level. This is some of the work that I do in my life is I help people through relationship difficulties. I'm a spiritual relationship counselor. So part of that is helping men and women understand the differences that we have together and that we share as what you would almost call different parts of the same species. So men and women are very different in the way that they react to relationships or the way they handle relationships, and I just want to talk about that today. And I also want to introduce my little dog, Molly. She's often going to be in my videos because she's very needy and needs to be very close to me and needs to make sure that she can feel my energy. And I am going to do a video about pets and about how they are and how they react to our energies and things like that. Just to kind of give you an idea of energies being real and whatnot. So I do have another dog. She's a long-haired Chihuahua, and Molly is a Maltipoo. So, and I also have a black cat that you might have seen in another one of my videos. So oftentimes my animals will be in my videos. So back to relationships, and the main area that I want to focus on today is why do men pull away and how that affects us women and what can we do about it? Because again, I've helped hundreds of clients and I see this all too often where, let's start at the beginning, where a man and a woman, they come together, things are going really well, the woman feels very close and very open, and then about 2 or 3 weeks into the relationship, maybe 4 weeks in, primarily right there in the beginning, 2, 3 weeks in, the man pulls away and maybe doesn't return phone calls or doesn't call back or loses the momentum or the enthusiasm that seemed to be there just the other day. Now, this can also happen in relationships that have been going on for quite some time. Let's say you're at the 6-month mark and there's a big thing to come up, like maybe a commitment or another level of the relationship, and the man is retreating within or pulling away. And I just want to talk about these few things. There are 3 main reasons why a man pulls away, and almost every single one of us women has experienced this time frame where this happens. And it's difficult. We go through a panic and an uncertainty when our man starts pulling away or withdrawing. And again, it can happen out of the blue or something could spark it. Either way, it's a very difficult time for us women, and it makes us feel a lot of feelings that can throw us into any number of spirals. And what do we do during this time? We panic. We lose our cool. We lose our connection. We might want to start to engage the man in our lives to come back, try to draw him out or draw his attention back in, when in reality that's not the right way to go. Men are very different than women in this very aspect. Because the number one reason why he may be pulling away is that he's stressed out. That's put very simply, or overwhelmed. That's a very good way to put it. He's overwhelmed with something in his life. He's overwhelmed with taking the next steps. He's afraid. Men deal with, process their feelings very differently than women do. Number one, they don't call each other. They don't talk about it. Men actually don't use talking and vocalizing their problems as a way of processing, where women do. We process through calling our friends and going over it and over it and over it and over it many, many times until we kind of think we know something, or actually this kind of just helps the whirlwind around it as we don't know what to do with our feelings of frankly feeling rejected or feeling like we're not good enough for this man and why doesn't he love me? What did I do? When in reality, it's not you, it's him. That can't be said enough. Typically when a man pulls away, it's because of what he's going through, and oftentimes, just like when I help my clients, the man has to go into what's called his man cave. Now this could be an internal going within, which is rare but does happen with some people who have a higher level of awareness of processing their feelings, but oftentimes men retreat in their own way of pulling back and focusing on what's right in front of them or right around them. They typically tend to pull away from any communication or outside or extra activity and just stay kind of at home, Maybe they work on a project in the garage. Maybe they work on their cars. Maybe they play music. Maybe they're into an instrument. Maybe they play video games. Oftentimes men are doing that to relieve stress and move through fears of the next level, the next thing. The second reason why men pull away that I see all too often with the clients that I work with is that they're feeling suffocated, or they feel that us women are being too needy. And actually, women are, in a sense, needy when it comes to men. And this is from kind of a long time of conditioning that our security comes from a man. Our security comes outside of ourselves. Our love comes outside of ourselves, when in fact these things aren't really true. The love is right within our hearts and in ourselves, but oftentimes we feel that a man is the source of our love, or a man is the source of our security. And that can create an energetic pull, or an energetic feeling of neediness that the man can actually pick up on. Now, men really dislike this feeling of neediness, unfortunately, and it's very hard for us women to turn this around. I know I've had to work on this myself in relationships. You know, when is he going to call? When is he going to come back to me? What's he doing? Where is he at? Is he being trustworthy? All these things go through our minds. And again, that's us, not them. That's us projecting our fears and our worries about security and feeling insecure in the world without a relationship or the perfect relationship, when in reality that doesn't exist. Everybody goes through phases, and every relationship goes through phases. And oftentimes the men will pull away, or a man will pull away, because he feels a little bit too suffocated or too smothered in the situation. And that happens often, and it's important that the woman gives the man, their man, the time to go through his internal process. The man, again, does not process by calling all of his friends, asking them for their advice over and over, rehashing the situation with everybody around them to get to some clarity. They get to this clarity on their own, with their own sense of self and their own sense of intuition. They actually need space energetically, and men will kind of demand this by pulling away. So the third reason why a man pulls away is that he may not be at the level of interest that we are as women. Now again, when a woman meets a man, we are already looking for that Mr. Right. That's always been in the back of our mind. We lead with, is he Mr. Right? Is he the one? That's what I get from my clients all too often is he the one? Can you tell me? As I work as an intuitive and empath and help people through relationships. So that's the main question I get is he the one? So again, women, we lead with that question. And with one encounter of intimacy, because of the magnetic energy that the heart shares with other hearts, the connection, the soul-to-soul connection that is created through intimacy, women live in that connection. We feel that connection very deeply. We aren't afraid of our feelings necessarily, and we will dive headfirst into a relationship so that we can feel more of that love and more of that connection. And so all too often we dive right into the relationship and really want it to be the one, or want it to go further, without really seeing if this man is the right one. We just want that so bad. I know I'm speaking for myself here. We want that security and that love so bad that we're willing to let all the red flags slide, am I right? And then we kind of just say yes right away, when the man approaches the relationship very differently. They are extremely cautious from the gate. Yes, they engage in intimacy, but they have a very easy way of detaching their intimacy from their love. And so it's not that difficult for a man to be intimate with a woman and then pull away. It's actually natural for a man to guard his heart, guard his feelings. Men don't lead with, is she the one? Men lead with, oh, I like her. I'll see if this works out. We'll see if this girl's right for me. So men actually have, like a 3-month period where they go through, where they're deciding all along the way, is this the right girl for me? Can I see myself with this girl? And they really pay attention to red flags. Where again, us women, we're abandoning ourselves at the first encounter of intimacy, which is all too often right in the beginning. And we leave out any red flags. We don't even really want to see them because we want so badly for this man to be the one. So, I invite you to look at that in yourselves and where you're doing that, because I know that I did that a lot throughout my 20s and even into my 30s, just thinking that, leading with is he the one? And that caught me in a lot of hot water around relationships and a lot of pain in my heart that I could have avoided by simply kind of easing back on that whole situation. And again, this is the third reason why men pull away is they're seeing the level of intensity that we're leading with, and frankly, it scares them. They know that women kind of do this. They know women are geared towards, is he the one? They've heard it all too often. They see it in their sisters or their friends' friends. They know, their guy friends, girlfriends. They know this is a theme with women. And so men are very cautious about letting themselves get too involved before they know that it's right. And sometimes it takes 3 months. I had a conversation with one of my clients the other day. He said 6 months before a man is willing to let the woman in all the way, which frankly surprised me. I thought, wow, that's a really long time to be intimate with somebody and not know if you're going to spend a good duration of time with them, let alone the rest of your life. So again, these are the three main reasons why men pull away. They're stressed, they feel suffocated, and they're just not ready for that level of intensity or intimacy, even though they're being intimate with the woman. Because their understanding of intimacy is very different, and their mechanism for securing their heart leads the situation. Again, when you find yourself in a situation where your boyfriend or your love interest is pulling away and you don't really know what to do, number one thing you can do, there are two main areas that I urge you to focus on, is letting them have the space. Really letting them have the space, even if it's a few days, 24 or 48 hours, and oftentimes a week is necessary. And number two, there's actually three things. Number two, if you can, unfollow him on social media for the duration of the time that you are allowing yourself to give him space. Because seeing him posting on Facebook or other social media sites saying, oh, I'm so happy, I'm doing all these things, that's only going to make you think that he's not into you at all and that he's having just a great life and you're not part of it. And that's just going to give you a lot of feelings of not being good enough, being afraid, having pain, and that's not something you want to put yourself through during this time. And the last thing is really try and see if you can take care of your own, focus on yourself during that time. Like say, okay, he's taking a few days, I'm going to take a few days. And I'm going to take this next 24 or 48 hours or a week to focus on myself and focus on what I want and what's good for me and what I need in my life right now, because you're worth it. Your love is right here within you. It's in your heart. See if you can feel that and focus on that. And just try to relax, out of the whirlwind, out of the spin, out of the panic about it all. And really let the universe or God or your spirit guides or the angels, whatever you connect to really be the deciding factor in this. Just let the situation flow so that you can be in the flow and not in the resistance of it. So I hope this video helps you understand the top 3 reasons why men pull away and what you can do really for yourself during that time, because I literally get this question all the time with my clients, and I wanted to make this video to help some of you ladies out there who are going through this, because I know it's painful, I know it's hard, and just have faith in the connection, have faith in the love that's inside of you. And maybe the relationship isn't the right one. Maybe he isn't the one, and the universe is trying to tell you that. So that's where you need to trust. Trust yourself, trust what's happening, and trust him if you can. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day.